So what will a student's experience look like in a competency-based model? In some ways, it will look very similar for students who have been attending Truman High School, and in other ways, it will be very different. We do know that for students coming from our more traditional high school programs, or even traditional middle school programs, it will be significantly different. So what will a student's schedule look like? So Monday through Thursday, students will have the opportunity to come in between 7:30 and 8:30 to work on assignments to get support from staff. At 8:30, they will check in with their mentor. They'll have a 15-minute check-in with their mentor. And then they essentially will have 4 classes throughout the day that they will attend. And then the whole school will do reading time. As we know, reading is critical for students to be successful. And having time to read books that they are interested in with discussion by the teacher around the books and their comprehension level is critical to increasing their success in various content areas and across the competencies. So what does project time and content seminar time include? This is where students will develop deeper thinking and those life skills through project-based learning. They will have project time in a variety of content areas, but primarily through English, history, math, science, and fitness. The projects students will be doing are really going to mimic the real world experiences. They'll be looking for problems and figuring out ways to solve those problems, utilizing those critical thinking and communication skills to tackle those problems. Students are really going to work to be innovators, creators, and problem solvers because those are the skills they need throughout life to be successful. Teachers will work to inspire a joy of learning through doing hands-on, active learning in their classrooms through the projects. And students will be asked to work in teams to complete projects because working collaboratively is one of the #1 skills that employers want from their employees. Truman reads. So like I said, we'll be reading for 30 minutes every day because reading is at the heart of learning. And we know that research indicates that if you improve your literacy skills and cultivate a love of reading, that students will be lifelong learners. Our teachers will be checking for understanding through one-on-one conferences with the students about the books that they are reading, and they will help the students find that just right book at their level with their interest. And on occasion, students will read books in groups like literary circles and book groups, something that's done by many in the real world and help them develop their independent reading skills. Fridays will be a little bit different. We'll still have our optional morning PLT, which is the personal learning time. It's where students actually are doing work independent of their teachers. They'll have a check-in time with their mentor and as a group, and then individually throughout the day, the mentor will be checking in to see how they're progressing on their personal learning plans. In their mentor groups, they'll have a community meeting to discuss issues and develop skills that cross the community. And we will do some skills workshop focused on areas where we see intervention is needed for each student. Mentor time, what is that really about? Well, the mentor supports the students in achieving their college and career goals. And every student will have a mentor who coaches them, acts as college counselor and advocate, and supports them in excelling both inside and outside of the classroom. Every mentor will meet weekly with their mentee to check in to see how things are going, for the student to reflect on the week and discuss their goals and plans for the coming week. We want students to become empowered learners. We want them to self-direct their learning, set their own goals, and seek new challenges. We'll also check in with students about those habits of success. Mentors will help students reflect on their challenges and successes so that they can learn from both. Mentors will partner with you, the families, parents, guardians, friends, and work together to support the student in achieving their academic success and their lifelong goals. Personal learning time is when students are really focused on that content and doing learning beyond what's presented in a course, or learning that they might need for their internship or volunteer work, or just in delving deeply into a subject area that they really have high interest in. The students can move at their own pace and will work in scenarios where they learn best. Every student will have a personalized learning plan that outlines what their goals are, how they're going to access resources to do the learning, when the work will be submitted, and will allow them to track their progress towards meeting the various competencies for graduation. This is also a time when teachers can provide one-on-one tutoring and support to ensure that students know what they need to do and have the skills to do what they need to do. And this is also a time when peers can coach each other. They can support each other and help each other in the learning process. Content and skills workshops. These are like mini courses that will support the skill building and completion of course projects. These workshops will be based on students' needs as determined by student data and students' requests, as well as those things that we as educators know that students will need to be successful as they move on to college and careers. Community time is really about building those relationships and reflecting and celebrating. Students here can give each other support and feedback. They'll build a trusting, caring, and safe community of colleagues, and they'll build their character and life skills. Students will meet with their community groups once a week for 30 minutes. Expeditions. At the end of every 9 weeks, we'll take a 2-week period of time where students really get to delve deeply into areas that are of high interest. Teachers and outside entities will come in and teach students about things that they have a great deal of interest. It could be programming, it could be designing computer games, it could be attending museums and learning about art. It could be learning to quilt or learning to knit and building a variety of skill sets that enable students to really take a deep dive in a 2-week period of time into something that's of very high interest to them. You will also see that there is always mentor time, regardless of what our schedule is, and students will have the opportunities to be supported through personal learning time. So what is an expedition? Sessions are actually 3 2-week sessions throughout the school year that you break away from your core courses and really immerse yourself in something that's energizing and engaging. We think of those traditionally as electives, but allowing students to explore their passions. Expeditions will cover lots of different subjects, but will fall under the arts or STEM or physical, emotional well-being, leadership and society, and that college readiness piece of things. On occasion, students will be requested to take certain expeditions throughout their high school career in order to build skill sets like leadership and college readiness that we know are critical for their next steps beyond high school. We'll also have kids out in the community doing volunteer work and internships based on their actual needs and their wants. So how will students show all of their learning? They'll no longer be getting grades in a particular course or content area, but they'll be gathering information, resources, evidence from all of their learning experiences over the quarter and bringing those to an exhibition of learning where their mentor, some of their student colleagues, you as the parent or guardian or significant adult in their life, and community members will evaluate based on the rubrics where a student is based on the evidence that they've provided and help them develop next steps so that they can move forward and gain the skills that they need to be successful. Exhibitions are the culmination of their work every quarter, allowing us to see and for them to bring to the table evidence of the skills and knowledge that they've obtained and to get assistance from those who support them in moving forward. It is the celebration of their work, and it is a way for them to set goals that will help them move forward.